In this webinar, we will demonstrate the user interface for VelPAK and Velit. All visible windows and pop-out dialogs within VelPAK and Velit have the ability to be detached from the main window and placed anywhere on your screen in floating mode or anywhere else within the main window in docked mode. The main VelPAK and Velit modules are accessible from the top bar in the main window. Clicking on a module button opens the module in a tabbed window interface. Each module has its own set of icons and action buttons, and also its unique set of flyouts or property grids on the right-hand side of the module. These contain parameters and actions to perform various functions in the software by hand. Flyouts are open by clicking or hovering on them. They fly back when you click outside them, but you can pin them open using the pin icon in the flyout title bar. Modules and flyouts are docked by default to the main window. Windows can be detached into floating mode by double-clicking on the tab title. To dock a floating window, double-click on the title bar of the window and it will be redocked in the main window. Modules may also be docked adjacently rather than stacked in a tab view. To dock a module, click and drag the tab onto the main display and a docking icon will appear. Release the tab on one of the docking positions, top, bottom, left or right, and it will be positioned accordingly. Relative sizes of docked windows may be changed by dragging the divider bar between windows. To remove a window from the docked layout, drag the window title tab into the center of the docking icon. The console window defaults to being docked at the bottom of the screen. However, it can be treated like any other window by enlarging it, closing it, floating it or docking it elsewhere if required. Any layout of the Velit or VelPAK windows you particularly like can be loaded and saved from the File drop-down. Most modules have customizable displays with similar mechanisms for customization. For example, within this layout setup, the default surface display is a time grid. The Display Types drop-down shows you the display is set to shaded. This can be toggled to contour at a click of the mouse button. Or you could equally go to Display Flyout and set the display type, in this case back to shaded, then press Apply. Generally, the drop-downs are quicker to use than the display flyout for changing one item on the display. But if you wish to change several display features, you may find the flyout is quicker. If you are using the wizard or the workflow systems, they have a tendency to reset display parameters, so it is worth familiarizing yourself with the display options to quickly turn on what you want to see or set a particular display style. If you have long well names with UWI formats, you can tidy up the well annotation by clicking on the Preferences tab in the bottom left of the main window and toggle Name and UWI to No. Double-clicking on Name, Number and UWI is usually faster than using the drop-down. To see other layers in the model, use one of the following: the green Next Event and Previous Event arrow icons, or move to the Surface selector and specify the surface number you wish to see. You can also go to the model tree and select the grid, for example, that you wish to see by selecting Surface, the surface number your grid is stored under, and double-clicking on the type of grid you want to see. You can change the type of data being displayed using the slot selector. Changing the type of grid back to time will produce the time display on the screen again. And back to depth. The surface and slot windows are detachable from the model tree box and can be docked around the model tree. If you have a tall enough display, one useful layout allowing quick access to both surface and slot selectors is shown here. Again, you can save the layout using the file Layout menu options. That concludes this short demo about the VelPAK and Velit user interface. Thank you for watching.